everybody, welcome to Wool and Wine, episode 45. I'm Tammi.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Janet.
And welcome back to all of you. And it's a beautiful day here, but fall is coming.
It is.
Yes, it's September 3rd, the day we're recording here in Bellbrook, Ohio, which is just south of Dayton. And we're just happy to be here.
Yeah. We are.
It's been a while since we podcasted.
It has. This is our pre-trip podcast because a couple of us, well, all of us are going out of town.
Yes.
Different places.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
Before we get started, cheers.
Cheers.
That one's special.
This is very delicious.
Wowza.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a jam-packed episode for you.
Yes.
Finishes, whips, plans, all the things.
Yeah, exactly.
Delicious wine to share.
And
Yeah.
this delicious wine. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so do you want to go first?
Sure. So I'm wearing the Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavalley. And here's the video. And I knit the size 44, and I used Holskarn Super Soft in charcoal, and also Yoshi and Lucy in the colorway Dark Magic. And I know I've worn this for you guys before, but I'm doing it again because I haven't worn it for a while, and so
It's so beautiful.
It is, yeah.
and I do love these colors together.
I do too.
The dark gray, it just makes the gray pop from the mohair. And the mohair, it's got pinks and grays and a little bit of gold and white, and it's just
And cranberry.
cranberry,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's like,
yeah.
oh, all the good colors. It just goes so
Yeah.
well.
So we all knit this, 2 years ago?
At least.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't
2 or
remember.
3 years.
Yeah.
So
I haven't worn mine for a while. I need to get
well,
mine out.
maybe you can, yeah. Yeah, so I made no modifications. Oh yeah, we did actually. I think we all did that because I think there weren't there some yarn overs
Right.
On
She
the-
did yarn overs down the side and yarn
and
overs.
on the raglan.
Yeah.
And we decided we didn't want that, so we just knit up to it, and I think we have 2 stitches, 1 or 2 stitches.
One or two. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. So anyway, I think that's the only modification we made.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks so good. It's such a nice, easy to wear short sleevey.
Yeah, it is. It is. And so this kind of goes up here, just tad. So we
Well-
always try to figure out. We don't want that to happen. So it's always how do we figure out how not to do that?
To keep that top stripe under your V-neck going straight
yeah.
across, and it's got to be something in how tight those stitches are.
Yeah, maybe.
Like the last few coming down to it, and the point, and maybe the first few. I mean, when you're doing an I-cord, it'd be easy enough to go up 1 needle size just for that part,
Yeah, that's true.
and then go back to. We'll have to try that on something next time, even if it's just for the pickup. Mm-hmm. But that works for an I-cord. It's not going to work for something like that, the other one that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
So, is that it?
That's it.
All right, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing the Trillium Lake by Hopkins. And here's the video. And here's what it looks like close up.
So beautiful.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I really like it.
So I used an old knit crate yarn that Claudia and I bought some when we were at the wool gathering a couple years ago. And this is the Uru Yarn Asher. And the colorway is called Old Barn.
It's perfect color name.
And kind of looks a little bit like an old barn. So
Yeah, but it's so pretty. I love it.
So, this is like the size, I would say like a medium or a size 40. And I made it pretty much exactly as the way the pattern is. And when I made it and I showed it for the first time, I was really going to rip out the bottom because it rolled a little bit. So I changed my mind after I'd worn it and decided I'm not going to rip it out, that it's fine.
It is fine. It
I
looks
like
great.
it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm really happy with it, and that's about all I have to say about that.
Well, there you go.
It's a sport weight yarn. It's a sport weight, so it's made like of bamboo and cotton or viscose. I can't remember, but it is discontinued. But it's a nice, lightweight, cool sweater, and I highly recommend the pattern.
Excellent.
So,
Tammi.
Okay, so I am wearing, and I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's HOR number 19, and this is by Kjeldsen. And then here's the video. So I knit this in BC Garden Bio Balance, which is a cotton wool yarn, and man, do I love this yarn. I haven't worn it, excuse me, goodness. I haven't worn this yet this summer because it's not appropriate for here. It gets pretty darn hot, like in the 90s, and I feel like this weight with the wool and the cotton is probably more appropriate for like the spring and like late spring and early fall, like the weather is now. I mean, today it's going to be what, 80 something, like low 80s
Yeah, I think so.
or high 70s.
It was cold this morning.
Yeah, maybe high 70s, low 80s. It looks like it's warming up, but it's appropriate for now. So I still haven't blocked it. But I will tell you, I knit the size 45, and I think I did modifications, and I don't know if my gauge, like if I'm really on gauge, but until I block this, I'm not gonna know. But I really like the way it fits, and I know that I'm gonna have to block it at some point. So Claudia has graciously volunteered to take it off my hands if I block it and it's too big.
Isn't that nice of me?
yes, so nice of you.
I think it's like the sweetest thing ever.
It's such a sacrifice, but I'm willing.
Yeah. So this Bio Balance is readily available, and this color is called Red Currant. And I love the shape of it. I just think it's super easy to wear. This would actually make a good vest. I mean, it would be cute over like a long sleeve button down with a shirt tail hanging out, cuffs flip back.
Yeah.
So who knows, maybe I'll get more wear out of it than just this small part of the end of the summer.
Yeah, maybe. So
Yeah.
pretty. I love it.
Yeah, so I don't have the yarn to show, so I think that's just about it for this one.
Okay.
So you want to move on to finishes?
Yeah, and I have a finish. Woo! It's a party, I'm telling you. As my niece says. So the Dingley Dell by Isabell Kraemer. I finally finished it. Oh yeah, and there's a video. Sorry, I'm out of sequence.
Matter, fine.
So yeah, so here's the Dingley Dell and all its beauty. My niece says it looks like a party, and she says, "Well, look at these. This looks like confetti."
We can see you coming in it, that's for sure.
Yeah, you will. And I love the fit, and I really like the way she finished this V. It's a double. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, so that's
So
sort
she did
sort of
two
different.
stitches in the center where
Yes.
almost everybody else only
Says
does the one. Yeah.
Yes. And so the yarn I used was the Holskarn Super Soft in the colorway Indigo. Just a navy, nice little navy. And then I also used the Purl Soho linen quill. And this is called Pink Pop, and it really does. And this is Zen Yarn Garden Serenity 20. And it's a cashmere blend, and it's called Flower Power. And it is so super soft. It's amazing. So let's see, modifications. I didn't really do any. I was trying to decide on how long I wanted to make the sleeves, because I was considering making it a long sleeve sweater. But I decided to kind of make it a longer short sleeve sweater. So it goes about down to this part of my arm. So I think it'll be great for spring and fall. Mm-hmm. And if it gets cold, I have a navy blue cardigan. That'll go perfect.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
It's
yeah.
gorgeous. Oh, I just love that.
Yeah, it really turned out nicely. And I like the little details she has with the ribbing.
Yeah,
I really
big
like
couple
that
of
too.
rows. It just makes
Gives it a more
it elevates
finished
it.
look.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
it gives it kind of a sporty.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, she has some interesting ways to do the sleeves and makes it look like an inset sleeve. And they're just beautiful. So
Yeah, that Isabell.
she's really good.
Yeah, she's a design genius.
She is. Yeah. And so I love it. And
Good.
there we go.
Beautiful.
And that's what I have today. That's my finish.
All right, sweet. How about you?
Hey, I have the Flax Sock by Tin Can Knits. And
Sock.
yeah, it's the sock version.
Oh.
So it's made with sport weight yarn. And here's what the sleeve looks like.
And that's for your grants.
And yeah, this is a little baby size. So this is the from 1 to 2 year old size
That's a
sweater.
that is
So it was
cute.
fun to make as a little tiny sweater. So the yarn that I used on this was the Knit Picks Brava Sport, and the colorway is denim. So
Super adorable.
So cute.
He's gonna be so cute in that.
yeah, so when it starts getting cooler, I'm going to give it to him.
Excellent.
So I have a little tag that I initially put on here, and it was kind of hanging down a little bit, and I thought, I was worried it was going to get in the way or get snagged or pulled or something. So I'm going to try it again, and I think I'm going to use thread, because traditionally I use yarn when I tack it on, but I think I'm going to use thread, so
I may
it'll
even
be
have
more
some this
secure.
color. I have a whole box of threads, so you can look and see.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'm pleased with it and made it to pattern. And so it's a 100% acrylic yarn. So,
Okay, so you
Just
said it's
throw it in the wash.
It's a sock weight pattern, but you use sport.
Sock and sport.
Oh, okay.
So you could use either or. I had to go down. It was a size 5 needle is what they called for this. And since I think it's because I used the sport weight yarn, I had to go down to a size 2 needle.
Oh,
And then I did the ribbing in a size 1
wow.
for this.
Oh,
So it was a small needles. It was 24 stitch gauge. So,
So
Yeah.
cute.
but it was fun. It went fast. Hello, it's just a little tiny baby. But I love the detail of the raglans, and who knows, I may make myself one.
Oh,
yeah, I've always
so-
liked that pattern. I've looked at that for a long time and thought about it myself.
I think the other one is a worsted weight.
I think so.
If I'm not certain, yeah. And then this is just a lighter weight one. So, and they call it the sock. So the flax sock.
I made that same one for Braxton when he was a brand new baby. But I did use sock on that one, sock yarn. I mean, it was the newborn size. It was super tiny compared to that.
Yeah, I bet
Yes.
it was.
And you said you got to use 9-inch circs for his little sleeves.
Yes, I did.
I couldn't
So-
because those little sleeves on the newborn were
Oh,
so
I
tiny.
bet.
You couldn't, a 9-inch, they wouldn't even go around. I had to use DPNs on it. I mean, I guess I could have done magic loop,
yeah.
but yeah, I had DPNs, so
Yeah.
I went ahead.
I was
but,
happy. I didn't have to use. I don't love using DPNs, but
Katie's gonna love that
But
when you
if-
give it to her for him.
yeah, it's gonna like his little sweater. Hopefully,
Yeah.
keep him warm.
Goodness.
So I want to make him a cardigan, and I'm thinking of the one that
Baby
Tammi mentioned.
brownstone, right?
No, the
No?
baby vertebrae,
Oh.
and it doesn't come all the way to the front and button or anything like that. So he would just wear it open, and so babies at this age kind of it's the whole button thing and everything gets in the way.
Yeah.
So this way it just keeps his arms and his back really warm and.
That's
And
a
then,
great idea.
with all the movement and everything, it stays out of his way. So
Yeah.
we shall see. It's
Cute.
probably going to be my next little thing.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, so I have a couple of finishes. I'll go ahead and do one and then we'll be back to you.
Yep.
Right.
I finished my framed sweater by Andrea Mowry. And so here's the video. And I really, really love it. So
The colors are great.
yeah,
Yeah,
the colors
that's
really
so
are good.
beautiful.
It looks good on camera. So the sleeves are the same length. She did like shorter,
3/4.
like 3/4 sleeves. So I went ahead and did that. So I made a lot of modifications. I'll tell you about the yarn first. So this is Bare Naked Wool's Better Breakfast DK in the Americano colorway, and I got this at Rhinebeck. So it was so fitting to actually use the yarn on her Rhinebeck sweater that we got at Rhinebeck last year. I'm kind of surprised. I thought the Better Breakfast DK was gonna be like soft, and it's not. So this is DK, and it's actually a worsted weight sweater pattern. It's not scratchy, but it's not like as soft as I thought it was gonna be.
It feels really soft, that yarn.
Yeah, it feels softer.
It's soft.
It's soft enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally soft enough. And then the cream color here is Kelborn Woolen Scout, and that's in color 280 Wheat Heather. And then the color changing yarn is the Unexpected. So this is Stacy Charles Fine Yarns Tina in the colorway Bonfire. And so the big modification was I got exact gauge, but I used DK, And then I chose to steek the sleeves because I didn't want to do the color work in flat. I wanted to do it in the round. And if anybody's thinking about doing this and a little worried just because of doing color work flat, the steeking was the simplest thing I've ever done. And I didn't really, you know, I have seen other people talk about steeks and hold the steek up and show, you know, on YouTube videos of other podcasters doing something with steeks. All I did was cast off the number of stitches that she tells you to in the pattern. And then on the next round, I cast them right back on. And I did 5 stitches in my steek. So she already has some edge stitches built into the pattern, but I just did light, dark, light, dark, light. Super easy. And then when it was time to cut it, I was in a hotel room and I did not take my good scissors. I had those little kindergartner scissors.
Oh my God.
The little fisters.
The little, yeah, the ones that TSA doesn't take away from you. And I cut the steek open with that because I didn't want to wait till I got home to start picking up the sleeves. But when I got up here to where the top of the color work ends, I bound off the steek stitches and then just kept going flat, of course, for this shoulder ribbing detail.
That makes sense.
And it was just easy. I mean, those stitches stuck out and it was easy. I did reinforce them with crochet because I wasn't sure, but honestly, I didn't have to. And it is not bulky at all. After I was done, all I did was tack it down. So here's the inside. It looks like it's mostly white because remember I said white, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, and the dark is like nested in there. But it's not bulky and it's only 2 layers of DK. So if everybody else is like sweating, walking around Rhinebeck, I may be sweating less because mine's not going to be as heavy and I'm really, really thrilled with it. I'm not going to knit another. But I am, you know, just because how many of the same could you have? It'd be a great single color top. I mean, the shape of it is just cute. I do want to show you my tag though, because I just ordered these from an Etsy shop. So on that side, it's made by Tammi. On this side, look what I did. It's the same logo as our business cards. So it's the Wool and Wine logo. And this is just like a little pop together snap.
It's so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
And
really
so I will link that in the show notes, that Etsy shop, because they're really nice quality. It's faux leather, so, you know, it's not going to hurt anything to wash it with that on, although the little rivet does, it like snaps and unsnaps, so it's easy to manipulate.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's it for this one.
All right, that's beautiful.
I don't think I forgot anything. I think I said it all.
Okay, so my next finish is the Lighthouse Cardigan by Brandi Cheyenne Harper. And I am tickled. Oh, but before that, here's the video. So I am so tickled with this sweater. It just turned out absolutely gorgeous.
It is. Yes.
And I love the yarn. The yarn that I used was the Purl Soho Lantern, and the colorway is Horse Chestnut.
Gorgeous.
And I think I've worked on this sweater for probably about a year. It's taken me a long time. It was just I quit working on it time after time. I worked on it for a little while and then quit and picked it up and quit. And So anyway, I
adorable.
finally committed myself to finishing it. And it's really nice. It's a cotton linen blend, so it's very lightweight. It's a cool sweater, so it's just really nice this time of year. And
you learned new techniques.
Yeah, you did.
Remember, you knit sleeves from the wrist up, and then you joined them in the round with it. Yeah, because it's bottom up.
That is right. Bottom up, and then it was like the sleeves were separate. It's kind of like the Letho, where you do the sleeves separate and then you attach it. Well, you don't even attach it on the Letho. You start...
The sleeves become the body.
Yes. So on these you attach after you get the sleeve done. So yeah.
Awesome.
It's gorgeous.
It was awesome. And the other thing is, it's an inside out. So the Purl side is on the outside of the sweater. And then there's some knitted techniques that are on the outside also. So it ends up being totally, I don't know, inside out, but
It's adorable.
you're knitting flat anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's really, really cute.
But it is really pretty. So I'm so glad to have that done. And off the needles.
Doesn't that feel good when you get things finished? Especially
Yes.
if you've been working on them for a while.
Yeah, no kidding. That's always
Yes,
good.
so happy.
Yeah. All right, so my next finish is the Dumpling bag by Jeannie Lee for Purl Soho. And here it is. It's just a cute little purse. So when we first started the episode today, Claudia mentioned that we've got vacations coming up, and Rick and I will be going to Munich for Oktoberfest, and I bought a beautiful dirndl to wear, and he's wearing lederhosen, and I was looking, so the dirndl has the whole top part of the dress, except for the blouse, is this really gorgeous blue, this color, with almost like fleur-de-lis embroidered all over it in a kind of a creamy gold and like golden thread. And so I found in my stash, this is Wool of the Andes, Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in Sapphire Heather, and it's really close to the color of the dirndl. But in addition to that, I had this left over from my framed sweater, and I had some gold thread that I don't know if the shiny is showing up. I'm not sure if it is or isn't. But anyway, the dumpling bag is plain, but I went online and just looked for a fleur-de-lis pattern and did some color work. So it's, you know, just stranded color work. It was done in the round, no big deal. And these little dumpling bags, you just slip the short handle over the long.
Oh, cool.
And it closes up. And I added the ruffle on it from, oh gosh, I can't even tell you. There's a sweater that's out there that you knit a purl row around the yoke, and then after you've gone down a ways, you pick up those purl stitches and do some rapid increases, and it makes this cute little ruffle on it. And I'm like, well, if you can do that on a top, I can do that on a purse. And I went ahead and added a tie, an I-cord tie to it, because we're going to be at Oktoberfest and I know it's going to be crowded, and I want what I put in my purse to stay in my purse. So it'll, you know, I'll slip it over, and it's going to be pretty darn secure that way anyway. And I think that would confuse somebody because my arm is going to be in this part. I almost feel like the ruffle might make it a little puckery right there, but it looks so darn cute when it's open. And while it's laying on the table with us, it'll probably just be tied and laying there. So, and if this gets beer on it, no big deal. I'll just block it in the hotel room and rinse the beer out. So I think it'll be a really good, fun purse to take. So it was just some little additions. I wish the gold showed like it does here. But anyway,
Very creative.
it's just going to be
Very.
I
fun.
like how you did
It's
that.
very cute.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. I was going to make a lining for it, and I'm like, oh, okay, Tammy, that's enough is enough. You know, you did color work, you did a ruffle, you don't need to line it also. But yeah.
Adorable. It's adorable. Good job.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you have? I know you've got some whips.
Oh, I do, of course. So I am still working on my Anjou sweater by Skeinny Dippin.
I just love that name.
I do too. And I'm making the size 50, but I did a 20 stitch gauge instead of an 18 stitch gauge. So, and I have one of the sleeves on, and I think it's really pretty, but I was just telling them I hate this transition to this really light. I'm gonna have to take it out. I'm gonna have to modify it so it kind of makes sense where it's kind of a darker color than this bright color. I just don't think it looks very nice with that line there. So it's only knitting, right? That's what I keep hearing.
It's going to be fine. I
It'll
can't
be
tell you
fine.
how many bottoms I've ripped off sweaters and redone.
Yeah. So, and it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish, 14 rows. So it'll be fine for yourself.
You'll be much happier with it.
I will,
If it's
'cause I-
bothering you now,
I
it's-
won't wear it.
yeah,
I just
it'll
know I
bother you
won't.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to kind of imitate it in the sleeve, but I didn't like the way that turned. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't bother me like the other.
Right, it's not as light.
It's not as light, and it's got some little bit more dark in it. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me as bad. So there we go.
It's going to be gorgeous when
Yes.
you finish it.
Yeah. So,
But you have to be happy with it. And,
exactly.
you know,
So
you're
true.
right. It's only knitting, and you knit because it's entertaining, it's fun, it's a thing, it's creative, and all that.
And you know what? This is actually a pretty fun sweater to knit. I like the pattern. It's a lot all slip stitch, knits and purls, and yeah, it's very easy. It's a fun knit. I like doing this better than I like the sweater I made, the flower.
Oh, the
pressed
pressed flower
flowers?
cardigan?
This was more fun to knit.
Oh, wow. I love that pressed flowers.
Yeah, this was way more fun to knit. You can see how much I like doing the pressed flowers.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks good, but
yeah.
it was, I can't say it was a fun knit. No.
It took forever, it seemed like, to do that. Pressed flowers.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
I don't know why I finished it and I said I want to do another pressed flower
I
something. I'm
know.
still thinking about the pressed flower shawl. I think that would be so good.
Cool. Well, you go for it, girl.
Oh my goodness. So do you have a whip?
I do. I have several whips today. So the first one is the Oksa by Caitlin Hunter.
Oh, look
Oh,
at
wow.
that.
And here's what it looks like so far.
Gorgeous.
Look at that texture. That is
Yeah.
so good.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this. So this is like a 40 inch sweater once again. And the yarn that I'm using is this Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. And the colorway is Homemade Jam. Here's what the label looks like.
It is a good name.
Makes me
Yeah, looks
hungry.
like some raspberries, strawberry,
Strawberry.
some good berries on there.
Peanut butter and jelly, yum.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've knit with a shelter. Actually, I started a sweater for my husband, and he's lost a lot of weight, and so I ripped it out. So I need to start that again. I'm using the same kind of yarn, the Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. So it's been in hibernation for a long time. But so I'll be picking that up.
This will be
sometime
the
this
first
fall.
one you finish.
But this will be the first one I finish using this yarn. So it's a very woolly yarn. It's very stable. Like it just, it just stands on its
It's a
own.
workhorse yarn. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be really warm. It's a worsted weight yarn. And I think I knit it with like a size 6 needle. So it's a nice gauge.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That texture on there. Was
And
that
it's
easy?
really
I
pretty.
love her pattern.
Was this
Yeah,
quite
I
easy?
mean it's all
like the
easy once you
texture,
get
too.
the feel for the pattern. It just all goes together. So yeah,
Looks so good on camera. The
so like
the
the
flex.
yeah.
Yeah, they really
So
pop.
like the X's are actually little cables.
Oh, nice.
So
I like it.
yeah,
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's really pretty.
that's good. And you've made a lot of progress.
You have.
Yes.
I mean, since we
But
saw it
knitting
last.
and knitting on it.
So it must have been pretty fun to do all the
It was
work,
fun.
I bet.
I really enjoyed the lace and the cable part. Very fun.
It's really cute. I love it.
So
Okay,
I'm
Tammi.
anxious to see how it blocks out, and
Yeah.
how soft it gets,
Yeah.
or not soft.
Or not. Yeah.
All right, so my first whip is a Cumulus blouse by PetiteKnit. And I am working away on this thing. I'm attached to all this. Okay, so it's a little wrinkly from being stuffed in the bag, but here is what it looks like.
Looks
I'm
all
working my way down the
fluffy.
body. Yeah, I think I have like another 2 inches on the body before I do the I-cord ribbing on the bottom. So what I'm using, this is, did I put the size? Yeah, so this is the size 43. And I did the size 43 before. I just finished one in kind of a cranberry color, and I love the way it fits. It's just so nice. It's, it just feels good on. It looks nice. You can dress it up. So I'm using 2 different yarns on this, and one is La Bien-Aimée Cashmerino in, let's see, this is La Grande Nuage colorway. So it's got a little bit of purple, but it's mostly gray. And I'm holding this very, very pale purple Rowan Kid Silk Haze. So this color is called Serenity, and it's these 2 together that are giving it this wonderful haze. I mean, it kind of has more of a purple than a gray look to it, doesn't
Yeah.
it? That little bit of haze on top of
Yeah.
it. But there are like blue
I
specks
didn't
and
think it really turned out on the monitor very well.
the color.
Color does. I mean, maybe if you get it closer.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. It's
Okay,
very, yeah, it is, and it's these 2. So it's funny how much lighter it looks just with that halo over top of it. But yeah, love Love this. And before I do the sleeves, like always, I will pick up around the neckline and do the I-cord just so that part is fitting how I want it to, and then I'll know how long to make the sleeves in case it pulls in. And I am just about to add, I had 2 skeins of this, and it'll take less than 2 skeins, so I'll have a little bit left over. Yeah, I mean, I think that skein that I'm working on is going to finish the body. I feel like it will.
Cool.
Because it's a big gauge. I mean,
Yeah, it's an 18.
Yeah.
Which you gotta love.
Right.
Claudia knows all those gauges. She's like, boom, I am on this.
I'm on it, man. You know it.
Yeah. So do you have another whip?
I do, and it's called the Kylie. It's Pullover by Irene Lynn. And I've been making some progress. And the yarn I'm using is the Purl Soho Serif. But this is the yarn. That one's coming apart. And it's 100% cotton. And the texture's really interesting. There's the label. And this colorway is called Gray Birch. So I got to a point on the back where you put it on a hold. And now I'm doing I started on the front, left front, and doing shaping for the collar. But I love this pattern. It's really a pretty pattern, and it's not hard to do. I just have to keep looking. Okay, what's next? But it's starting to become more intuitive, so hopefully
so beautiful. Oh my gosh, that feels so
and I
soft.
blocked this because I wanted to make sure it was in the right size.
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh,
it's
Claudia,
just-
that's gorgeous.
I love this yarn so much, so I bought more.
Oh right, so
Yeah.
the sale may have ended.
Yeah,
the
'cause it was-
25% off.
yeah.
It was a Labor Day sale. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I think
Shoot.
so. You can check, but yeah, just wait. They'll put another sale
Yeah.
on. They always do. So yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous. And this is really cute. It's got a double.
Oh, you're doing the neckband. You
This
finished
is
the
the
neckband
neck-
at the same time.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really
I
good.
like that.
Yeah. So that's coming along.
Gosh. Yeah, we haven't seen her that since she joined that.
Yeah,
front.
I usually try to work on it at home because I feel like I have to concentrate a little bit more than other things. So they're just gonna have to wait until I see until I show you guys.
Right. It's cables and lace, right?
It's cables and lace, and I mean, what can go wrong there?
Everything.
Well, everything. But who doesn't love cables and lace?
Oh my gosh, we all
Yeah.
do. We love
So
wearing it.
I absolutely love that sweater.
Oh my
I think it's going to be really cute, and I'm going to make. You have options with a 3/4 length sleeve or a long sleeve, but I'm going to do 3/4 length and kind of use it as a, pullover in the spring and fall. And-
That would look pretty over a dark, like a long dress.
Yeah.
Like even for something super dressy.
Yeah, because it's got that shine to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow,
Can't wait.
That's
for you.
exciting.
Okay, so do you have
Okay,
more?
my next one is the Feldspar Tee by Hannah from Herb Garden Knitwear. And I think last episode I showed you a little bit of this. I was just at the very beginning. So I'm making my way up the body. So this is a bottom up sweater. And so I have a few more inches to go before I get to the armpit section. So, but it's coming along.
It looks
So it's just a very simple pattern of stockinette and pearls. And the yarn that I'm using for this is the Universal Yarn Bamboo Pop. And the colorway of this is Pastel Dots. And this is a 3. Is that a DK?
Yeah.
Yes.
3.
For a 3? Okay, so it's a cotton and bamboo blend. So it's a DK.
It calls it a light DK, so a light number 3. You could probably knit that as a sport weight also.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
This was the yarn that the pattern actually recommended, and I had already made one of these a few years ago, and I gifted it to my sister, and I really liked it. So, and anyway, Claudia had some of this yarn that she needed to. She didn't like the white part of it.
Stash,
Yeah.
right?
De-stash, so
White
I
is not my thing.
increased my stash.
That'll look good with your white jeans you're
Oh,
wearing.
yeah.
And so, yeah,
Any
I
colored
really
jeans.
like this yarn. The only thing I didn't like about it was that they have a lot of those little like knots,
Oh.
machine knots that they make. And it's like on the last skein there was like 3 sets of them.
Oh, man.
And then on this one I already had a set right after I started netting. So it's like I have a ton of these little ends that I have to
Yeah.
weave in. And with this being bamboo and cotton, it's just not the funnest I'm just worried they're gonna come out. So,
Wow.
but
So with that fiber, I usually split the strand and weave half of it on one row and half of it on the row below, just so that it doesn't come out quite as easily.
yeah.
It makes it a little bit more secure. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
so I'm gonna
slippery.
have to look at that. Yeah, it's very slippery. And I'm using wooden needles on this, and they're still slippery versus the metal needles because they're slippery anyway. But the size I'm making, I did not, I'm making a size 40 inch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty standard on the size 40. If there's a 40 out there, that's the size I make. So I'll probably make it a little longer because this is actually 10 inches already, but it's going to be too cropped for me. So I'm going to make it a little longer, probably about 1.5 inches to 2 inches more on this. So it's at least 12 or 11.5, 12, probably 12. Mm-hmm. Who am I fooling?
True.
So-
You might as well just do it. I didn't. The first time I followed the pattern, and it's bottom up, so there's not much you can do once you get it done and realize it's too short. So I
Right.
ended up picking up at that lace part at the bottom and knitting something. I don't know, I added another like 1.5 inches to it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you'll need 3 inches if I needed 1.5 inches.
Right? So who knows? I'll probably be adding a couple more, maybe more than a couple more inches. So we'll
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so I have got a couple more. The next one I want to talk about is a pattern that I'm doing with Melissa, and this is the On My Way by Thea Vesterby. And it is well, I'll just show you first. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it is all mohair, and it's not just all mohair, it's 6 strands of mohair. So there are 3 strands held together of the gold color, and then 3 strands held together of the cream color. And we're knitting this for our trip to Germany and well, Germany, France, Hungary. It's going to be this lovely long trip. So I started, I can tell you that I had a whole bunch of different gold mohairs in my stash, and I ended up using those because it only takes like 3 balls of one and then either 1 or 2 balls of the other. So it's not a lot of any one color, but it did require 8 balls of the cream color, the vanilla. And so it's a fade. As you can see, it starts off with one color and then it goes down and it gets darker at the bottom. I think I personally liked the brighter colors up at the top more. So I had a little bit left of this brighter gold mohair, and I went ahead and split it in half. I bought a tiny little scale on Amazon that goes down to like the 10th of a gram measurements, and so that's perfect for weighing mohair. And I ended up splitting what I had left and knit until it was just completely done, and I just did that today. So you can see there's like one strand here that I just finished. So I set the rest of that darker rusty gold aside, and I'll go back and work on the other sleeve once I get this one done. But I'm gonna stay with the brighter colors, and I still, oh my gosh, if I've got like 5 inches before the body, I probably have like 9 inches more of the sleeve to do. I'm probably about halfway done. This is gonna be super warm. Melissa is doing hers in where I have cream, she has like a white color. And then where I have the gold, hers is shades of like turquoise going into navy. So it's gorgeous. And I asked her the other day, I'm like, so are we gonna wear these on the same day together? And she's like, okay, I'm down for it. I'm like, we made them to take, for this trip. So anyway, I'm having fun with it. It is, it's a free pattern, so I won't be giving anything away, but it is 2-stranded color work all the way through. And on the cream, which I'm holding in my left hand to make it dominant, is it's cable. So it's a 1/1 cable and then a 1/1 cable. And so every place where you see 2 stitches of the cream, it's actually 4 stitches where they're over top of each other. So it's one of those, like Claudia said, you mostly knit on this when it's just you, because it's kind of, it takes a lot of headspace.
Yeah, I get that.
Right. Okay. So
I have 2 more.
all right.
I have 2 more things left, and this is going to sound familiar. It's the Cumulus Blouse by PetiteKnit. And I am using 2 different colors and holding them together. This is the Frankie Gray Fibers, and it's kind of a peachy pink color. And I am holding that with the Purl Soho linen quill in the colorway Red Poppy. It's really more of an orange, but it's a orange red or whatever. And I haven't made a lot of progress, but I have started. And so that's how they look when held together.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So far it's been a pretty easy knit, and I'm looking forward to finishing it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a while. I think I'm going to take this on my trip with me though, because it's a lot of it's just plain knitting for the most part, especially once I get the raglans, and once I separate the arms, that'll be really super easy.
Yeah, just round and round.
Right. So yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to Croatia, by the way.
Wow.
away for 2 weeks, and so, yeah. So, yeah, I was looking at the weather, and they just said it was in the 90s, and now it's raining and the temperature's going down, so I hope it's not raining when we're there, but whatever.
That'll probably be nice and cool. And beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, let's see, what size am I knitting? I'm knitting the size large, which is probably like a 48 or so, or no, 45, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so while we're on the same subject, I am also working on the Cumulus blouse by PetiteKnit. And this all started, Tammi had purchased, Claudia and I, some
Yes.
yarn, the yarn from Frankie Gray Fibers. And so, you know, once Tammi started working on hers, it's like, and then Claudia, she's like, oh, I can use my Frankie Gray Fibers on that. And so, of course, I was like, yes. I want to use mine too.
she didn't want
I'm
to be
in.
left behind.
Plus, it was the 18 stitch gauge.
Right,
So-
that's how you knew.
So anyway,
far
this
you
is the
gotten on
progress I have made so far.
Oh,
So I'm a little further than Claudia, but not
That's beautiful.
a whole lot. But see, here's what it looks like close up. And so
Well, I better get moving on mine.
So, the two yarns I'm using is we got the fingering weight, which is the Knit Picks Hawthorne in colorway Rose City. And I don't have the label on this one, but it is the Frankie Gray Fibers, which is the Grocery Girls. I think it's Jody.
yeah.
Is the one that is the dyer behind this. And this is colorway Barbie doll.
And that's alpaca.
So I
Brushed
just
alpaca.
brushed alpaca mohair, yes. This is really lovely. I'm so excited with the way that these colors are blending together really nicely.
Yeah.
And I thought, why not? We're all gonna here we are, all making the same sweater. So
But they're also different.
they are.
I mean, the
The
yarns.
colors look so
yeah.
different, yeah. Beautiful.
So I'm making the size 40 once again on this. And what else do I have to say? Size 6 needle, 18 gauge. It's working out beautiful.
That's cool.
Yay.
And I have it in my pink bag.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So my next whip is a test knit for Thea Coleman, also known as Baby Cocktails. And this is the cinnamon and bourbon. And I am using the Fiber Company Erinmore Light in Maidenhead and Prime Alpaca in Natural. And so this is, you know, I was gonna say DK weight, but I think it might be sport weight yarn, although that is not what the pattern called for. I think it calls for worsted weight, but I was able to get gauge with this. And the sweater is just gorgeous. So it's not a secret, but I can't show you everything. But look, I mean, come on. Look how gorgeous that texture is. Is that not so pretty? And I got a sleeve.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
It is so beautiful. The test knit's going really well. This is going to be her Rhinebeck sweater, and I am like so stoked. So I'll be wearing this at Rhinebeck. If you're there, you'll probably see me with it on. I may have to do a wardrobe change throughout the day because I actually have a few Rhinebeck sweaters now, right? We've got our pressed flowers that we're all going to wear. And then I'll wear this for part of one of the days. And then I'm going to wear my framed sweater for part of one of the days. Yeah.
Maybe our Cumulus blouse will
Maybe.
be in there because
Yeah.
we're all making those.
Yeah. Does Melissa have one of those?
No.
No.
So we'll have to get Melissa and Terry to
Only if they want to.
get a...
Right.
It's like, hey guys, we're going to be wearing these. And of course I've got my label on it already because, you know...
Well,
But I'm so excited about this, and that's all I want to show until she releases it. I think it's going to come out around October 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere in that vicinity. I think our test is done on the 7th, so probably 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. But I mean, it's not my pattern, so don't hold her to that.
yeah, don't turn her into a liar.
Yeah. It's going to come out after the 7th of October.
Well, I think one of my Rhinebeck sweaters is going to be my Dingley Dell.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll see me. I mean, you'll probably see me coming from a long way away. 'Cause
Yeah.
that pink.
Right. No kidding. Yeah, we'll be easy to find, but it depends on the weather. I mean,
Yeah.
last year it was chilly and rainy, and then hot, rainy,
And then it got warm and
and then it got warm after it rained. Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it all works out.
Hopefully we can park close enough like we did last time and be able to go to the car and like whoosh, off one and whoosh, on another.
There you go. I don't know if I'm going to have that many, but you never know. Okay, so
Oh,
we're all,
right.
I think we're all going to talk about our Letho because we are
Right.
doing this with
With
the
the
knit
knit
along.
along.
The knit along,
Yes,
right?
that's- We're doing till
And-
December 6th, right?
Yeah.
Or 4th?
Um,
Something like that.
6th.
The 6th, okay.
Yes. So, I
Do we
guess
want
I'll
to
go
show our yarns first?
We can do that. Okay, so I have 4 yarns that I'm using.
Yeah.
So the main body is the tacky yarn in a Donegal tweed. And the colorway is redwood. And it's got ton and ton of specks in it, and I just love it. So this is the soft Donegal tweed. And I am using this for the cuffs of the sleeve and the collar of the neck. And then I'm using green, this bright green. And this is a Gilsk tweed in the colorway 32. There we go. And that I'm holding it double because it's a sport weight. And the 4th one I'm using is Fiber Company Amble in the colorway White Heather. So it's very soft, and I also have to hold this double because this is a fingering weight. So should I go ahead and show this?
Well, we can all show our colors.
Okay.
So, here are mine. Gray, gold, and white.
Okay. And here are mine. The purple, blue, and light gray.
Okay.
Yay.
Show that gorgeousness. Yeah.
So this this is how far I've gotten. I was able to do the sleeve. So that's the bottom with the cuff and a little bit of color work and the welts.
Oh, you're dipping.
Oops, dipping a needle. At least it
Dipping,
wasn't
yeah.
in the wine.
Right.
I'll hold the needle bit. So, and I've done the, what is that?
Provisional,
the provisional,
double-sided
double-sided
provisional.
provisional. And there is a video that somebody, one of our viewers told us about, and I actually used it. It's where you actually do you use your needle and a crochet hook, and you
Cast on
cast
onto the needle.
onto the needle, and then you knit in your yarn, and then you turn it over and knit into the bumps. So it's if you do a search on YouTube under two-sided provisional cast on, it will be there, and I'll give it to you so she can put it in our show notes.
Is it on your project page? Did you?
I don't think I put it in my project
You
page.
should link it on your project page so it's always someplace where.
It's easy to get
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
And it's actually, if you join the knit along, she linked it on one of her comments in our community in the group.
Yeah.
The Wool and Wine group.
I
Yeah.
thought it was one of the comments from our last podcast. But
Yeah.
I think you linked it, but
Yes.
you linked it in there.
Oh,
too.
I linked it in there. Okay.
I saw you.
I just looked at it, I did. I thought you were talking about our viewer.
Oh,
Okay.
no, you
Yeah,
linked it in
I
there.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far it's fun. Oh, and I added 6 extra stitches on the provisional because I wanted longer than the pattern. So, and I'm knitting the size 46.5, and I'm going to modify it and add a couple inches, one on each side in the front and on the back, so it becomes more of a 48.
Because it's like a jacket. This is really, I mean, it's a cardigan, but it is
It's a jacket
clearly
too.
able to be worn as a jacket. Yeah, and you want to be able to put it over.
Yeah.
something.
And I want to be able to close it if I want to, so I just thought I need a little extra, but I didn't want to go up to a 51.
No.
I thought that was a little much, so
Yeah.
anyway.
And it's easy enough to modify because you're knitting up and over, like up and over the shoulder and back down. And so before you do some short rows for some shaping, she just needs to add a couple more rows. And it'll add that, on the up and over, it adds that couple more rows on the front and the back at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's a real easy thing to modify. And I think I did that with my first one. I
You did?
didn't make really good notes, but yeah, I think I added 2 rows.
Okay. Well, and then you said because I can either do it here to give it the whole couple inches, or I can do part of it on this, and then when you separate and do the short rows, I could do a couple there too. So
Right. And I think I did 1 up and over and 1 after the short rows on both front and back.
Okay. Cool.
I think I did on the last one, so I'll probably do that again just to be able to have that bulk.
Yeah.
So do you want to
All right.
show your...
So my
Your
progress
beauty?
so far is just the sleeve. I'm right at the two-sided provisional cast on.
do that today.
So I haven't started that yet. But here's what the sleeve looks like with the various colors. And I'm using a Studio Donegal Soft Donegal. And it's a beautiful Donegal wool that is just a sturdy, really nice to do a nice like jacket sweater with. So I'm really pleased with the yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty.
So
I love the colors.
yes,
That's the yarn I did my first one with. This is what we bought at Rhinebeck, right?
correct. So
That's some gorgeousness. And somebody asked who the vendor was, and we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember?
no,
Shoot.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the...
Adirondack yarn.
Yes.
Yes, it was
That was
Adirondack.
I found the receipt somewhere for
I
that
did.
purchase. Or you did?
I did. Yep. I was going through my texts and it popped up. It was in my text, or it was an email or something. I can't remember. I think it was a text.
I think it was because they...
And yeah, I had it texted to me, and it popped up as Adirondack yarns.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. So here is, whoops, I got all kinds of yarns sticking up there. Here are my colors for this version. And I don't know if you noticed, but this is different. So the original pattern calls for the outer welts to be the same color as the body. But Claudia had this gorgeous gold, and I'll show it in the skein because you can see so much more of the colors. It has all these oranges and greens and whites in it, and I just thought that looked so good with the colors in this charcoal gray. So this is Blarney Woolen Mills, and when Rick and I were in Ireland a few years ago, we went to the Blarney Woolen Mills, and I purchased a bag of this yarn. It was 12 skeins and it was $99. It's worsted weight and it's 12 100-gram skeins. So I was showing the girls because I was actually going to use the blue on this, and what was that, just like 6 weeks or so ago? It
wasn't that long, yeah.
And I ended up looking at the colors that were in the charcoal, and I'm like, you know what, I think I want a charcoal, another one of these in a really dark gray, but it's got so many good
It's
colors.
gorgeous.
I mean, the rust would be so good together. So I started this, and once I got it going, and I did not add length to this, the recommended length for the pattern, I might be the same height as Natasja Hornby, because it was good for me, the first one was, so I didn't add any length to it. And then I have the other the other sleeve started. I did a modification on the first one, and I wanted to make sure I remembered that, so I went ahead. After you do the second row of welts, I knit one round in the charcoal before starting.
Yeah,
that.
we all did that.
And I was gonna say, I think we all did that. Yeah, so we're loving this. We've got a few people who are knitting it with us in the knit along, and a few other people who are talking about, oh my gosh, maybe I'm going to. So if you are, come on, we'd love to have you join in with us. That would be so wonderful.
Yeah, it's 18 gauge and it's nice thick wool.
Yeah.
It does go pretty
Or
fast.
whatever, it's a worsted weight pattern.
Right.
So, I mean, you can use whatever.
And it really doesn't take
Beautiful
that much
worsted
yarn.
weight. Right, it doesn't. And it goes rather fast as long as you know, you don't use the wrong colors and then have to go back in.
It's so engaging.
Take it like I did.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really an engaging project because there are a lot of new techniques. Like I had never.
Oh yeah, this is a super interesting, the way it's.
The way she put it together.
The construction is super interesting.
Yeah. It's really fun. It's one of those that everybody is encouraging each other on the knit along. It's fun. We're having a good time out there. So come on and join in. And even with Claudia's too, because she's using one color for her cuffs and the shawl collar, and then the sleeves and body are a different color, and then up the back is a different color.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the green. Up the back is going to be the green.
But I mean, it's not a big quantity of anything. I mean, I bet you if you use 4 skeins of that, that'll be like of this part. Did you just start your second skein?
Yes.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get the up and over. It won't even take 4 whole skeins of worsted weight to do the body in that size. Well, since you're doing the cuffs in a different color.
I probably have four skeins left over.
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch. Yeah. So,
yeah.
And I love this yarn. It's not super soft, but I like, I think it's gonna be a great jacket because
it feels like it's going to be
it's more
hard
stiff.
wear.
Yeah. It's more stiff, so it's not going to drape too much. So yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to hold its shape really nicely.
Yeah, it will.
Anyway, are we done? Are we ready to go to the tasting table?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay. See you there.
So hello, we're back. So today's a treat. It's called the Amulet. It's a red wine from Napa Valley. It's a 2017, and it's produced. Well, it's a Tuck Beckstoffer Estate wine, and it's a red wine. It's a red blend, and so. It's from St. Helena, and it's a Bordeaux blend. Oh shoot, I just lost it.
When you hear Beckstoffer, you know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Beckstoffer.
You guys talk for a minute because all of a sudden I
vineyards are
lost
just
it.
delightful.
So that winery doesn't exist in that name anymore.
Yeah. So
He's no longer part of the group, and they changed the name when he left.
And some of the wines exist and some of them don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if Amulet is still a wine that they
Is
have
that-
or not.
That's one of them. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I don't remember, but
The winery's beautiful.
is it?
Yeah.
But it's a blend. Like I said, it's a Bordeaux blend of Cabernet, Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot. And it's, of course, another bold one.
Oh, that is fabulous.
It is fabulous.
It's one of our our normal tasting characteristics. You know, bold, slightly tannic, on the dry side, and slightly acidic. And it mentions leather, earthy and minerals, dark fruit, blackberry, plum, tobacco, chocolate, vanilla.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
all those. Taste them all in here.
Yeah. So I had tasted it at home a week or so ago using what Tammi talked about, the Corvin, I think last week.
Yeah.
And so I Corvined it because I just wanted to see how it was, and it was sitting on the counter, and I said, well, I think these ladies will really like this.
Wow, thank you. Thanks for sharing. That is some
It's a
delicious.
special. It is a special wine. And let's see. Well, I can give you the average price.
Yeah.
It's almost $180 is the
If you can find it.
if you can find it. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And
Extra
maybe because
special.
yeah,
Yeah.
extra
Extra
special.
special, yeah.
I didn't know how
Yes.
special it was when I Corvined it the other day.
Well, good thing you Corvined.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a shame to open that one and have a glass and then just leave it sit there. It's delicious.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can taste
Delicious.
everything she said, but it's all so, it's such an even, like a gentle palate wine.
It is, yeah.
There's nothing, like the tannins don't grab you. The earthiness isn't one of those like stinky earthy. It's just like gentle
Yeah, it
earthy.
is.
It's just so...
And the blackberry is very pronounced.
Yeah, it is. I actually, there's a little bit of peppery on
Yes,
the nose
I
too.
would say
On the
yes.
nose.
Is that from the
Even
Cab
in my
Franc?
mouth.
Because I'm not sure that would be the Cabernet Sauvignon, but it might be
No.
one of the other grapes in there that.
Yeah, let's see, what were the other grapes? Okay. Cab Franc. Oh, I bet it's a Cab Franc.
Yeah, maybe.
Because because sometimes Malbec is also one of the Bordeaux grapes, and Malbec can add that peppery spice. So, yum. So
Yeah, that's delicious. That would stand up to a nice big steak or any other like big meat with some fat.
Punch
a
to
little
it,
bit
yeah.
of yeah.
yeah.
It's like it could definitely hold its own against that.
These are definitely, these bold reds are our favorites. Obviously.
Like you didn't know
We
that.
do enjoy
Yeah.
some other whites and rosés, but these are really
Yeah.
top on the list right here.
Right.
Yeah. So if you've hung out with us this long, couple of things. One, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. leave us comments because we want to know what you're up to, what you're working on. If you're thinking maybe you're going to join in on the knit along, because we have plenty of time, plenty.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know,
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
And it's such a big stitch gauge. And, you know, who doesn't have like 3 or 4 skeins, or maybe 5 or 6 if you're using different colors like we are, of worsted weight laying around that you don't know what to do with. I've got some Brooklyn tweed shelter. There might even be a third one out of me. Who knows? I mean, I just love the shape of it. So
Yeah.
you never know.
Well, and I bought some of that navy blue that you have.
From Blarney Woolen Mills.
Blarney Woolen
Yeah.
Mills, and we
Yes.
got it for.
So did
we
I.
both got it,
Yes.
and it was $99 for 12 skeins.
Oh, and I'll tell you this: if you use the code WELCOME20, you can get it for $80.
80?
Yeah, you guys got it for 80 because you used the code WELCOME20. You did. So if you're interested, it's beautiful. It's rustic. You have to like rustic, but man, it is some amazingness.
Gorgeous.
And yeah. So if you're all new, you might as well use that, right? I'd say go for it. They'll be happy to sell all those colors, and they had a lot of colors, and they all have the Tweety bits in them are multiple colors, so hopefully you can see all that on your screen, because when you get that yarn in your hand, it is amazing, right? So join in on the knit along, like and subscribe. What else? Anything else?
Well, we may not get another podcast done for a month, because I leave on Sunday and she leaves 10 days
The
later.
19th, yeah.
Yeah.
We're out of here on the 19th.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing a really short sibling vacation. I have a brother and a sister, and every year we go down to Gatlinburg for a few days, and so that's what we're gonna do.
That'll be fun too.
So, yeah.
Well, until we see you again, I guess, if you can't be with the wine you love, love the wine you're with.
cheers.